How are
Hi.
you? I'm Dr. Christy Del Castillo-Heggie. I'm the co-founder of the Fed is Best Foundation. For World Breastfeeding Week, we are featuring many different moms, moms of the Fed is Best community, all of whom have different stories, different experiences with infant feeding, and we are trying to feature them raw and unedited, what their experiences were and what we as a community and as health professionals and educators can do to help them better. So here I have with me Stephanie Mulligan. She's a mom and she's part of the Fed is Best community. And I'm gonna just start off. Okay, Stephanie, who are you, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am a mom of two boys, 5.5 and 1.5. I am a ultrasound technologist now. I've been doing that for about 3 years now. I do OBGYN ultrasounds, so I'm really this whole Fed is Best movement has really driven me to pursue OBGYN sonography and fetal health. And yeah, that's just something that's really important to me.
Awesome. Great. Okay. All right. And okay, so what were your expectations and your experience with infant feeding?
With my first son, back in 2013, I was a nervous wreck. First, when I was pregnant, I thought everything was going to be fine, and breastfeeding was just going to be natural and easy, and I wasn't really going to have to worry about a thing. And then after he was born, that changed very, very quickly. We did not have a good experience. I had a very, I would say, traumatic birth. And then immediately after, I did not have a very good support team. Immediately following birth, kind of coaching me how to do anything. I think they just all left the room. And we had a rough start. My son would not latch. I was not producing any colostrum, so it was a very stressful time. And at that time, I had all these expectations from mostly the internet, with people saying, which I now know to be untrue, all the benefits of breastfeeding, and basically that you're going to ruin your child's life if you don't breastfeed. So I had this added stress when it wasn't working out that kind of was very upsetting.
How did the rest of your experience go after that? After, I guess, you discovered that you were having problems with colostrum and latch.
It didn't go very well. I struggled through it. I had severe postpartum anxiety and depression, but I still believed that it was the best thing to do. So I struggled through it and forced myself, and I was very unhappy doing so. And I think I really damaged my mental health for several months. I think I exclusively breastfed and pumped for 4 months with my first son, and then I started introducing formula, and then we finally went to full formula at about 5 or 6 months. And so that's kind of how it was with my first. My second son, I had a completely different experience, because at that point I had already discovered the Fed is Best Foundation. So it went way easier, and I was much better prepared.
Awesome. How would you say that, or how did the second time go? What happened?
So the second time went, I went into it kind of knowing I had already gone through ultrasound school. I had ultrasounded my son and his stomach size and his and just I was very well prepared from the Fed is Best website and from all the support on the support groups. So I went into it knowing that I was going to supplement immediately, and that I was going to try and exclusively pump, because I did not want to go through the stress of the latch and all of the issues that I had the first time. It was just And I was just confident in my decision because I knew I put in a lot of research through the foundation and other sources. And it was so easy. My husband said that he was just so surprised at how well it went the second time. He was prepared for another meltdown, and he just said, wow, it was completely different experience.
How long ago was that?
He'll be 2 in October. So, however old that is, I don't know. I'm bad at that. But,
how did your feeding experience go from after the hospital experience?
After the hospital with my second, I exclusively pumped for about a month with him and supplemented in between, but, I did that for about a month, and then I kind of just had enough of it, and we switched to exclusively formula, and it was wonderful. In the hospital, he gained an ounce before leaving. He didn't lose any weight, so it was all just great.
Were you supported by the people around you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, my husband was very supportive, and just everyone was totally fine. And if they weren't, I didn't even notice, and it was fine. It was what was good for us.
That's awesome. If there was one piece of advice you could give to yourself as a new mom going back in time, what would it be?
I think I would encourage myself to take care of myself more, and be a little bit less concerned about the baby and more concerned about myself, because if I wasn't at 100%, I couldn't take care of my child. So I think I was too worked up about taking care of him, and I wasn't taking care of myself, and it exploded into horribleness. So I think that would be it.
Okay. And what would you have wanted from your health professionals and your health educators to do differently?
I really think that being prepared for all different outcomes after in terms of feeding, more information about bottle feeding, because breastfeeding was just all that they covered in the birthing classes, and it really, what happens if it doesn't work out was never something that was talked about. So I think that would have been very helpful, and just being supported, and I don't want to say pushed to do that, but at least someone to step in and say, hey, I think you need to step back, and it's not a big deal if you supplement. I think that would have been really helpful to have someone to do that.
Great. All right. Thank you so much. Is there anything
you
want to tell the That Is Best community or everyone else about anything?
I just want to say how great the foundation has been. It has really helped me tremendously, and I've seen it help other moms, and I think everyone has just done an amazing job, and I love it so much. I love you all.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.